Hi all, welcome to another exciting demo session where I have Suraj joining me from Automation Anywhere, and today's topic is AI agents. So let's dive into the new capabilities of AI, and this is really a hot topic and we definitely want to know about this topic. So I invite Suraj to introduce himself.
Yes,
Welcome Suraj to the channel, and excited to have you.
rather nice to meet you as well. And I'm glad to, present such an exciting topic, to the audience as well also. A little bit about me before we get started. My name is Suraj Chako, and I'm a senior solution architect with Automation Anywhere. And for today, I'm excited to present one of the newest cutting edge capabilities that we have brought into the platform. It is a concept or the feature of AI agents in the platform. AI agents, we've all known AI, has existed, in the marketplace for a while. But when you combine the power of AI with automation, we are able to unlock tremendous values. So with that, let me just talk through what I plan for you guys. Is I want to talk through about the concept of AI agents, and then we'll run through a quick demo so that you are able to see AI agents in action and see the kind of value that it can bring to your organization.
Sure.
I think before we start looking at the demo about what AI agents is all about, I think it's important to introduce the concept of AI agents. Now, what is an AI agent? An AI agent, if you look at it, there are three parts to it. One is an AI agent needs a goal. It needs a defined goal which it is trying to achieve. Now, the goal typically it is trying to achieve is decided by a human being. So we have to tell the AI agent this is a particular goal or this is the objective that you are looking for. Now, once the AI agent has determined its goal, the next thing is to achieve or to execute that objective, it needs to gather information. So the second aspect is to gather information, and finally, once the information is gathered from different sources, it needs to implement that set of tasks. So this is what our platform is going to allow you to do it. Create these AI agents with complete low code, no code capabilities, the same capabilities that we brought into the automation platform. We want to really democratize, the entire concepts of how you can bring your own AI and integrate that as part of your flow of work. And that's where, Automation Anywhere is the best platform to take advantage of this. Our platform would allow you to use that low code, no code concepts and build your own AI agents. Now, an AI agent is comprised of two aspects. One is the AI skill, and the second is the action. Because if you think about it, how we human beings also we act is we first think, we understand what needs to be done, and then based on that, we move our hands, legs, or whatever it is to take action about it. And that's exactly the same concept we bring in. So we look at AI skill. AI skill is the intelligence layer where you are able to use today the platform to connect to any large language model or foundation models of your choice. The solution now would come pre-packaged with connectors to most of your hyperscalers like your Amazon, Google's, Azure's of the world. And you'll also have the capability to bring your own model as well. Second, we know that one of the problems of using intelligence or AI is that it has a tendency to hallucinate, and to mitigate that, that's where we use the RAG approach or the retrieval augmented generation approach to train your AI agent or your AI skills on a specific set of documentation. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say you want to build an AI agent to handle any queries that are coming in terms of tickets or incidents from different users. Now, typically, most of these incidents would be, very straightforward, where the user just has to, or the agent has to open up a KB article, pick up the relevant section of the KB article, and then send it to the user. Now, this is where you can use the RAG approach. So when you train your model or your AI agent using RAG with your set of KBs, your knowledge bases, your documentation, when the agent or the AI agent is going to respond, it is going to cite exactly from which part of the document, or it's going to refer from that particular type of part of the document when it is framing or it's sending its response back to the customer. So this way, we eliminate the possibility of hallucination. Now,
Okay.
finally, the third aspect is the tune prompts. Now, one, if you work with some of these chat GPTs or anything as such, one of the drawbacks is that sometimes you get varied responses. Your responses are not consistent, and if you really need to take action based on a response that is coming in from a foundational model, you need to structure that output. And that's where Automation Anywhere will, the platform today would allow you to fine tune your prompts and get it to that kind of desired, response that you can use as part of your downstream automation. So these are the three elements you will be seeing in my demo, or how exactly, some of these features can be called upon. Finally, once the AI skill or once you create your AI skill or that intelligence using the platform, then you can use our state of the art action, which is today we support, as you know, both UI based or RPA based automation plus API automation as well. We can bring human into the loop through automation Copilot, and today we can orchestrate across all these various technologies, whether it's UI based automation, APIs, working with foundational models or AI agents, or bringing a human into the loop. Orchestrating all these various elements together as part of one consolidated flow is where the platform, or we see the platform being used tomorrow. And that's where it comes to, the real question. Why do I need an AI agent? Because today you're using automation anywhere to automate simple tasks and processes, everything that is rule-based or deterministic, structured data set, very basic rule-based intelligence. We're just bringing human in the loop as and when required. And finally, the entire workflow development is manual. Now, with AI agents being, or generative AI being infused to the platform, we are going to see more and more complex or cognitive tasks and processes being automated. We are going to see it moving from rule-based and deterministic to dynamic and adaptive, configurations that we can configure on our workflows. We are going to be moving away from structured data sets to more unstructured and semi-structured data set. We are looking at, rather than hard coding rules or hard coded rules, we want the automations to have human-like intelligence, so it is able to dynamically adapt to different kind of conditions that are coming. And finally, though we are using today Copilot for human in the loop, we want to move away from that, and we want to use human through Copilot only by exception. So that's only when, for example, when the AI model does not have the confidence to take a decision, that's when we only see the humans coming into the loop as part of the Copilot workflow. So this is the way we see use cases evolving and the platform being used to create tremendous value to the organization. So these AI agents, once you are able to create it in the platform, we see this, we see human agents and AI agents working in tandem in different areas. So we see it, tomorrow's organization will have across HR, across IT, across finance, across, all the different functions. Human agents will be supported by AI agents to execute business processes. And that's the future of work, the way we see it. With that, let me give you a quick demo into what I've been talking about, the concept of AI agents. But in this demo, you're going to see how we are able to use AI agents to, on a specific use case. To give you a background of this use case is, we come into the persona of the supply chain manager. The supply chain manager is trying to solve a backorder issue. So backorders are typically when orders to the cannot be serviced because of multiple reasons. So we're going to see how bringing this concept of AI agents is going to solve this problem for the supply chain manager. So let's go straight into the demo. So now we come into the persona of Sarah, who's our supply chain manager. Now when Sarah logs into her SAP dashboard, things aren't looking too good for Sarah. You can see that the back orders are up and cash flow is down. So obviously Sarah has to go through hundreds and thousands of orders that are there. She has to look at each and every one individually to understand exactly what is the issue and how can we solve this for the customer. Now how do we solve Sarah's predicament? And that's where the entire concept of AI agents come in. So Sarah reaches out to Marcus. Marcus is our developer, and Marcus is tasked with creating a solution for Sarah which she can use to solve this particular predicament that she has. So when Marcus logs into his control room as a developer, he can see a new notification has come in and an opportunity has been assigned to him. Now, when he clicks on the opportunity, he can see that as part of the opportunity, there is also a business process diagram also that is attached as well for his reference. When he opens it, it's a pretty standard BPM diagram. He can see how, what is the process that needs to be created to solve this particular problem for Sarah. Once she looks at it, he can go and close it, and she closes it. And then he can decide that, okay, now let's convert this particular design or this particular process flow into an automation. She clicks on generate, and this is where our autopilot kicks in. This is a new feature that has come in Automation Anywhere. We are using a foundation model under the hood to take in that BPM diagram and convert it into a process automation. And there you go. You can see now the entire a process has been generated by Autopilot.
Super
And
cool.
also what you're seeing.
This is really
Yeah.
cool stuff, Suraj.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of our customers are super excited by this functionality because it really, tremendously reduces the overall development
Yeah.
time drastically as well.
Sorry to interrupt you. Any kind of diagram can be uploaded, right, to the Automation Anywhere control room, and like this flow can be created based on that.
Absolutely. So the only prerequisite is the document has to be converted into a .bpmn format.
Okay.
So if you can convert it with whichever tool you can convert it into that BPN format, then our tool is supported today to ingest that and convert it into the flow. In our roadmap, we will have support for further other fine structures or design structures, but at the moment, BPN diagrams is what the platform allows you to do.
Sure. Thank you.
As you can see now, also what as part of the automation being generated, you can also see our process composer. Some of you have used our our Automation Anywhere process composer today. It's a lot more basic in nature, but now we have logical grouping of tasks based on you can see swim lanes are created for the different stakeholders in the process. You can also see, the different building blocks, whether it's AI agents, API tasks, RPA tasks, human in the loop through forms. All of this is created to create that entire high-level view of how the process is structured. Now, let's go into, one of the individual blocks and see how we can create your first AI agent. So I go into my AI agent block, and I know for the first AI agent that I need to create is from this particular product or this order, I need my AI agent to suggest from my 700, 800 page product manual. It needs to suggest to me what are the possible product alternatives that I can offer to the customer. Because this order, obviously, there is no inventory, there is no stock, and that is why I am creating this particular AI agent. So let's go and create our first AI agent. And now when I click on the left side, you will see that there is a AI Agent Studio that is available. Now, this is a newer capability that comes to the platform, and here is where you can create your own AI agents which you want to embed as part of your flow. Now, there are a lot of AI agents created here, so let's go ahead and create a new one. If I have to create a new one, the first thing I need to do is I need to create a skill. Now, just like how you and me, we have a set of skills that allow us to do our work. Here, before I create an AI agent, I need to create a skill for the agent. So let's go into skills. In skills, you see different skills are already available, but I want to create a new skill for my agent. So I click on create new. I then see that all the models that are exposed by the COE, different models are there. You can see Azure, Google, Anthropic, Amazon SageMaker, and so on. But you can also see there are certain models that are grounded. And this is where the RAG approach comes in. Because if I'm going to take an open-ended Azure OpenAI model, it's going to hallucinate. It's not going to give me context. It's not going to look at my product map. But because I've asked my COE to fine-tune my model using the RAG approach and expose it over here, now this Azure model has been trained on my product manual. So whenever I ask it questions, it's going to look at my product manual and it's going to respond based on that. So let's go click on it. And now you can see our new prompt template bench or workbench. Here is where you can start refining your skill for your AI agent. So what I'll do first is I add in my prompt, and my prompt is typically now what I would require, my AI agent to do. Yeah, I'm sure you guys would have, worked with some foundational models. Now here is where you can really test out, or this is a workbench for you to test out your prompt. So I'm going to ask, okay, use the supply and products detail database to identify alternatives to and I'm obviously creating a variable for my product details and customer profile because that's going to be, taken as part of my upstream automation. And what I'm asking my prompt to do is my output, I'm asking it to get it in a structured format. Now, the advantage of that is it gives me, a structured response, which I can use as part of my downstream automation. Next, I'll feed in some sample input parameters or input variables. You can see some sample product details and a sample customer profile I've given for the variable. And I can also define a data filter. Now, my product manual is 700, 800 pages. For this particular use case, I'm working only with medical devices. So I'm giving it a much more filtered approach so that it is going to be a lot more efficient when I'm going to send a prompt or get the response. So here, I click on medical devices and I click on get response. And there you go. You can see the entire response has come in your structured JSON format. And now you can just pick up these objects and you can use that as part of your downstream automation. So this is where you get API-like response when you're working with these foundational models. Now, you can also see there are obviously security and governance is also high on the agenda when you're thinking of utilizing AI as part of the flow of work. So there are a lot of governance features. I will be talking about all of this in the subsequent session. But you can see some of the features that are available here, such as data masking. So one thing data masking does is it automatically redacts or masks any sensitive information. So let's say I put a customer name or a phone number or an email ID or anything that is personally identifiable. But auto data masking automatically redacts or masks that data, not just in your prompt that is going in, but even in the response that data gets masked. So that way you can be a lot more secure in terms of the data exchange between your network and the foundational model.
I
Now,
have one
yeah.
question, Suraj. So, when you fine tune this prompt and save this as an AI skill, would that be directly consumed via bot, or a developer has to come here and get the response and then do this manually?
Yes. So you would be familiar with the taskbar development. Now, when you're creating an AI agent, in this case, what you're doing is you're only creating the intelligence. So you can see over here, what I've done right now is just created based on the prompt, I'm getting a response. That's it. Now, there is no action that is being done. The next thing is to build the actual action to act upon this particular response that is coming. So that's
Okay.
where once I save and I go back to my AI agent, let's jump over there. You can see my AI agent is created, or I've created my AI agent. I go in, and that skill I developed right now, I'm just going to tag that particular skill. So this is the skill I just created now. I'm going to tag it. And now, as you asked, Dipendra, now we need to create that action to act upon that particular skill, which I just created. Now
Mhm.
this is where I have the option. I can either use my action packages on the left and bring it in, but now, or what I'm going to do now instead is I'm going to use my Copilot feature for Automators. Now, Copilot for Automators also again an AI-based skill. Now, how we are building an AI agent for a business user, we have also infused AI into the platform to make development easy. You saw in Autopilot, we can convert PPA to structured workflows. But even after the workflow is created, to fine tune your tasks or your steps to fill in the parameters and so on, you can use our Copilot for developers to help you do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my assistant or my Copilot. I'm going to say that, okay, now that you've identified the alternative products, now go into SAP and then get all the information regarding the details or regarding the product. So you can see now all I need to do is just enter that in simple natural language. And once I enter it in natural language, you can see that the entire set of steps, it's calling upon the SAP APIs, it's connecting to it, it's going and picking up the inventory levels and so on. And it's getting all that data back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call upon another AI skill based on this output to recommend, because it's not just enough that I recommend, possible product alternatives. I also need to see if the alternatives have enough inventory which is available. What is the back order time? Is it 7 days, 10 days? Because all of these are the parameters that I will use for my next AI skill to decide, okay, from these data elements that you collected in the upstream, what is the ideal, product that needs to be recommended for the customer. So that is how I'm able to create this entire flow. Again, as I keep building, there is continuous feedback being collected. So you can see as I get feedback, the model also improves in terms of how it recommends the entire development or Copilot.
And this
Now,
Copilot is now co-powered by, powered by Amazon Q, I believe, right?
that is correct. That is correct. So that is in our Copilot for business users. So I'll be just showing you that right now. So you'll be able to see how we have our Amazon integration also in Copilot. So
Okay.
let's go back, to our overall flow. You can see now my flow is done. I've created the entire flow and it looks good for me to deploy. So I click
Mhm.
ahead, go and click save. I come back to Sarah, who's our supply chain manager, and I've exposed my automation to her. She logs back in, and that's where you can see her Copilot for business users interface. And this is what you were saying, Dipendra, that now today Copilot is powered conversational today, and it's because of our partnership with Amazon Q. So what that means is, unlike earlier where you could only trigger very specific automations, what you can do is you can just type in simple natural language prompt, and Copilot will look behind the hood of all the various automations you've created, and it will trigger that relevant automation. So here, all I say is, can you find an alternative to product so and so from any other supplier? Because this is the product, or this is the product I'm working on. And Copilot is able to understand that intent and then trigger that automation that we just built to get the product alternatives. So you can see now the automation has triggered. It has gone and picked up the relevant alternatives and suggested it to. This is where the human in the loop by exception works. So rather than have the person continuously interact with the automation, you can see AI agents have figured out most of the complexity around the product alternatives, back order item, what is the back order time, what is the price, all that has been done by the AI agent. What the human agent simply has to do now is, okay, this is the product which I'm not able to fulfill for my customer, which is the best alternative? That's all that she has to decide. She believes that, okay, let's pick the first one, this looks good. So she selects that again. Now again, the automation continues. It picks up the product details. It goes, drafts an entire response. Again, this is all your AI agent that is doing it behind the scenes. Now again, all Sarah needs to do is just click on edit the mail, maybe make a few edits, change the tone based on her liking. If she's fine with it, click on save, send email and update order, and bang, that's it. The email goes out. You can see how such a pain area for or on a use case, which typically, if you looked at what Sarah was doing on one case itself, if she had to go through the manuals, had to go through inventory systems, check multiple data points, this is something that would take her hours, even days also to fulfill. But now with the help of an AI agent, she's able to solve this entire thing, or she's able to execute the use case end to end just in a matter of a few minutes. And that's the real power of AI agents.
This is
So
really cool. Yeah. This is really
yeah,
cool.
so that's what I wanted to.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Suraj, for the amazing demo and a walkthrough of AI agents and what it has, like how it is integrated and where we can find all those options within the control room. How soon this is going to be available for developer audience to build their own skills?
So most of the features are GA today. They are available to you. So you can get started with creating your own AI agents and embedding it in the flow of work. Most of these features will be available. Only our Amazon Q integration will be coming up in our .34.
Okay. So it's already available for all the developers who have enterprise license, right? So they can try
Yes,
their hands on.
.33. Yes,
Okay.
.33.
And any plan for community editions?
Definitely. So we've just this is the most recent feature we have brought in, and typically how it works is we roll it out to our cloud customers first, then it comes to the on-prem, and then finally to the community edition. So that's typically the way it will be. But it will be coming to your community edition. So
Superb. I think a lot of people and developers would be excited to try their hands on this. And thank you so much for taking out time and walking us through all these features. And to the audience, if you are interested to know more about AI agents in Automation Anywhere, how to build your own agents and how to navigate through those tasks and integrate within your automations end to end, please comment down below. We further collaborate on these sessions and we'll try to get you a detailed walkthrough or live build kind of a session where you can achieve these end to end automation. Thank you so much. Thanks,
thank you.
Suraj.
Thanks everybody.